Some quick news, and of course this August you can go and actually attend a WWE tryout with meet and greets with Jey Uso and Tiffany Stratton and a Q&A with Shawn Michaels. I think this is pretty cool. You get to see a WWE tryout. I'd love to do that. Obviously last night with the Wyatt Sicks, after Raw, WWE released the digital images. You can see here very clearly how the dreadlocks are attached to the mask of Uncle Howdy, so they will be present when he wrestles. But we got to talk about Nikki Cross. No, don't worry, there won't be a scream jump scare, I promise. But Nikki Cross was seen dancing with Uncle Howdy during that promo video. Now, taking a closer look at it, it does look like she's wearing the mask. When she's not wearing the mask, she's more upset, she's more tortured. And then when she's wearing the mask, it's kind of like she's a different person. And I kind of feel like we are going down that split personality route, that when the mask goes on, maybe there's like a confidence that's brewing in Nikki Cross, given to her by Uncle Howdy. I also find it fascinating that we got the Sister Abigail move last night and the VHS of Nikki, who is portraying Abby the Witch, Sister Abigail, and we see Sister Abigail dancing with Uncle Howdy. Kind of all loops together, you know? Here is the model for Pat McAfee in 2k24 and its new DLC coming out later this week. And there was a lot of controversy today over the Pat McAfee show and the members of the show making comments saying that some fans are upset of their inclusion in this DLC and some fans want nobodies from NXT to be included. Well, here is the Pat McAfee show DLC coming to 2k24. I don't know who any of these guys are apart from Pat McAfee, and here are their models too. And I just kind of think, I agree. I think these spots could have been filled by people like Lash Legend, for example, and having 2k24 just tweet out laughing emojis in response to this in a now deleted tweet really doesn't help the case, does it? But let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Are you happy for the Pat McAfee show pack? This is things you might have missed from WWE NXT, where I know who people are. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. A street fight kicked off NXT tonight. It was Josh Briggs versus Brooks Jensen, with the story really being on social media prior to the show, with Jensen tweeting out this picture of seemingly a Right To Censor style shirt. Obviously his father, Bull Buchanan, was in Right To Censor. He would wear it for the match tonight, and then, of course, there was no censor in this. This was a straight-up brawl with maybe the most satisfying table break of all time in WWE. The table didn't, shatter or anything. It just kind of imploded on itself. Maybe it was like Vic Joseph's candy that caused that, I don't know. But this match was all about two old friends battling it out because they've had a disagreement. But there was an Easter egg at the start of the match. At the very start, you saw the white chair up against the steel steps. Of course, that is the white chair of the chairman, Shawn Spears, who would appear later in the match, distracting Josh Briggs, allowing Brooks Jensen to use the white chair, and he obliterated his once former best friend. Just look at the marks on the back of Josh Briggs. Brooks Jensen would get the win, much to the delight of Shawn Spears, and it looks like that first lost soul that Shawn Spears was trying to recruit has been found as Brooks Jensen. Where does this leave Josh Briggs? I'm not entirely sure. I think Josh Briggs is going to feud with Shawn Spears and Jensen. It makes sense to do that. I want to see Jensen and Briggs go at it again. Give them another, stipulation match, because this was awesome. Eddie Thorpe would defeat Lexus King tonight, and after the match, Lexus King would attack Eddie Thorpe, taking him to the outside of the ring, lodging his hand between the ring post and the ring steps, and then using his cane to actually crack the fingers of Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe obviously hurt tonight. Now, obviously, Lexus King breaking that cane over the hand of Eddie Thorpe. I don't know how we're going to do this, because Eddie Thorpe has just come back from injury. I don't think doing an injury storyline makes sense. I don't think writing him off of TV makes sense. So I'm going to assume he's going to get a cast or something. Charlie Dempsey received a blackmail note tonight on NXT. No secrets at all, because Wren Sinclair instantly admitted it was her that sent it. Obviously, she said that unless Charlie Dempsey wants the world to know what he did, tonight she has to win her match. I think Charlie Dempsey needs to go back and watch old episodes of NXT, because if he did, he'd know that we already know what he did. But nonetheless, Wren Sinclair would square off with Carly Bright, and yes, Charlie Dempsey would help putting Wren Sinclair's foot on the bottom rope and then giving her the leverage, the support in the pinfall to pick up the win. Much to the amusement of the D'Angelo family, who obviously Charlie Dempsey is trying to look up to and basically idolizes the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. All Wren Sinclair wants at this point is to join the No Quarter Catch crew, and it's killing Charlie Dempsey. Oro Mensah would defeat Ashante the Adonis tonight on NXT. Kind of feel like there's more for Adonis going on though, because he was involved in the first segment of the night with Cedric Alexander and Trick Williams. A takeaway from this, Cedric and Ashante didn't seem to be like on the same page at all. In fact, when Trick cleared the ring of Ashante, Cedric didn't do anything. In fact, it would build to a match between Cedric and Trick, which Trick Williams would win, and then after the match, we would get a handshake of respect between the two. Now, it's just interesting to me because in the segment at the start of the show, the very first time Ashante's in that ring in NXT, they bring up Hit Row. Former member of Hit Row, Top Dollar, AJ Francis, is in TNA right now. And of course, we've got the TNA crossover with NXT. Is it possible that we can see a kind of Hit Row reunion in NXT? Maybe. What seems to be next for Trick Williams, though, is Pete Dunne, as Pete Dunne would attack Trick after his match with Cedric Alexander tonight. Pete Dunne obviously making a statement. I really like this. Having Trick Williams work with people from the main roster just sets him up for bigger and better things in the future, genuinely. What seems to be next for Ashante? Let's put it in a nice way, shall we? He's in for a very good night, I think, right? Moments before that, with Wendy Chu in the background, Kelani Jordan was shown a video posted today on social media of Tatum Paxley playing with her dolls, speaking to the one that she thinks is Kelani Jordan. And it's worth noting as well, right at the bottom of the picture, you can see very clearly a hammer. She's going to go psycho, isn't she? Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend would defeat Sol Ruka and Carmen Petrovic tonight in tag team action. And then after the match, Lash Legend would grab a microphone and she would challenge Alba Fire and Isla Dawn to defend their World Tag Team titles next week on NXT. Also next week, Roxanne Perez will defend the NXT Women's Championship against Thea Hale. Thea Hale tonight saying that she's ready. I like this from Thea Hale, but I also like this. Chase U got new merch tonight. It is available on WWE Shop. Black t-shirt design. Could Chase U turn heel and actually help Thea Hale to win? A really great video package for Joe Hendry tonight. A good introduction to Joe Hendry. And of course, clarification that next week we will get to experience a Joe Hendry concert on NXT. Let's just say Gallus was not overly happy about it, and I'm sure they're going to be involved as well next week. All bruised ego, Ethan Page was in the ring tonight with a referee trying to clarify that the 1-2-3 last week from Oro Mensah didn't count. Well, didn't count this week either, but Oro Mensah did it again. I think when announced tonight, everyone knew the main event was going to be bouncy, as the Rascals would take on Javon Evans and Fraxium. And let's just say this match had everything. I loved the slow pace at the start, building up the momentum during the match, the highlight that everyone seemed to get, and the Rascals picking up the win. Does this mean now that MSK do get their tag team title rematch? And then right at the end of the show, we found out that night 2 of the Great American Bash, so in 2 weeks' time, Ethan Page will defend the NXT World Championship against Oro Mensah. Great to see for Oro for sure. Decent NXT tonight, lots of build towards the Great American Bash, obviously next week on Sci-Fi. For me, solid 7 out of 10's fair tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, you'll never miss an upload. Like the video, share the video, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!